serious for the first time this semester. Anyway, first time this semester, first time in my life. It really has been an honor and a privilege to have been your Spanish professor this semester, as well as those of you who had me for the other past semester as well. Thanks for carrying on and keeping the faith and trusting in me, and I hope I didn't let you down. I hope I see you some of you again, all of you again, really. Please feel that, keep in touch, Send me an email once in a while. Send me some candy now and again. Send me a money order on a weekly basis. There's your best way to keep in touch right there, that weekly money order. Yeah, think about that, We have 3 hours to take this exam, so it's not like the other exams where we're kind of under the gun and rushing, so we have all the time in the world. It will probably only take you, I would say, the 2 hours at most. Don't worry about the time, just relax and double check your work, My time at this university is kind of coming to a close, and my time on this planet is also kind of wearing thin. So I thought I'd take a few minutes if you'll indulge me and give you a final few golden rules. They won't take long. I'd like to give you the golden rules for life. They may come in handy later. Golden rule 500. So we're in the big leagues now, Golden rule 500 says that life is not fair. And I want you to keep that in mind. I think you all know that now, and I know you do, but just take my word for it. With time and experience and age, that lesson will really, really be driven home. The good news is that life is fair on a good day. That's the good news. The bad news is that as we go through life, sometimes we don't have some good days, and we have a lot of bad days. And sometimes we have a string of bad days, and sometimes that string of bad days can turn into weeks of bad days and months of bad days, sometimes years. I hope it doesn't happen to you, but just keep in mind, if it does, just keep in mind Golden Rule 500. So when you get out in the workforce and the guy next to you, gets the promotion that you worked so hard for and deserved, or worse yet, when friends and loved ones get in tragic accidents, come down with grave illnesses, or die before their time, you just want to go out and shake your fist at the sky and yell and say, "That's not fair." Don't waste your breath. Don't expend the energy, because I can tell you right now, life is not fair. So just keep that in mind. Golden Rule 500. Okay. Golden Rule 501 comes in handy in my business, and I think it'll help you out as well. And Golden Rule 501 says you can't please everybody in life. So don't even try. Okay? As you go through life, some people just won't like you for whatever reason. The best part is, sometimes there won't even be a reason. Some people will even hate you, most likely. But here's the rule. Don't hate them back, because if you do, you let them win. And you'll destroy yourself in the process. Don't go there. That's my advice. Okay. Golden Rule 502 comes in handy when I hear people all the time, especially when they get close to graduating, and they say, "I can't wait to get out of this hellhole and get out there in the real world, and make some money and work where things are really happening, And I have to bite my tongue, because I feel like saying, hey, slow down. These college years will go by way too quickly, and they may even be some of the best years of your life. They were for me. That's probably why I stayed in college so long. Okay? But they always say, well, I want to get out and stop paying this damn tuition. And I feel like, tell them, well, I'll tell you what, when you get out here and get out in the workforce and get out in the real world, that's when you have to start really paying the tuition. And they would say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, Golden Rule 502 says that life is a school, and with every lesson in life comes the cost of tuition. Keep that in mind. Okay? And some of those lessons are very, very hard to learn, and some of them even harder to accept. We have to pay the tuition. Learn the lesson and pay the tuition. About the only thing you can do is, after you've learned that lesson and paid the tuition, make sure you don't have to learn that same lesson again. Because if you do, I can guarantee you the tuition will be exponentially costly. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Life is a school, and with every lesson in life comes the cost of tuition. Okay? Number 503 is a good one. And I just have a couple more. Thanks for bearing with me. Number 503, Golden Rule 503, it says that really laughter is the best medicine. Keep that in mind, okay? So if ever you're in a situation where you can either laugh or cry, by all means, if you can, have yourself a good laugh. Of course, you won't always have that luxury. When tragedy befalls you, as it must befall all of us, have yourself a good cry or two. It's about to cleanse the soul. So by all means, cry. But if you're in a situation where you can laugh or cry, by all means, have yourself a good laugh. Laugh at the ridiculousness of your situation. Laugh at the irony of your predicament. But by all means, have yourself a good laugh. I'll give you a true example from my life. It was the fall of 2005. I was teaching at Aiken Tech, and I've been feeling poorly for a while. I thought maybe I had a hemorrhoid or something. I didn't know, I never had a hemorrhoid, but I knew they were a pain in the ass, I'd heard. And I certainly have one, okay? And so I just wasn't feeling, every day I was getting worse, but weeks went on, and I didn't go to the doctor, So it got to the point I had to teach a class, and I wasn't sure I could make it to class. So I was feeling feverish, I was sweating, I just, something wasn't right, but it had been going on for a while. So I'm at home, and so I got to go teach this class. So I take a couple of Tylenol and slammed a couple beers and saddled up and went to teach the class, But I barely got through it, Even students and co-workers were saying, you don't look right. You're sweating, you don't have any color, and everything. So I called up the doctor down the street here, Dr. Royal, and I said, can you fit me in on an emergency basis? He said, yeah. So I went down there, and he gives me an exam, has me take off my clothes, and then he says, bend over. And so he takes out this pole, looked like about this long, He shoved it up my, he shoved it up where the sun doesn't shine, So I let out a scream that probably could be heard for miles, And so the doctor says, did I hurt you? I said, no. He said, well, why'd you scream like that? I said, well, because next time you try something like that, you better take me out to dinner and show first. But he wasn't in any mood for jokes. He said, I'll be right back. So he leaves, but he wasn't right back. It seemed like it was forever. When he came back, it was like a half hour later. He says to me, there's a chopper in the air in Columbia. It's going to meet you at the Aiken airport. And they'll be landing in about 15 minutes. And you're going to be on it. That's what do you mean? He says, I said, I can just drive why do I have to go to Columbia? Well, you need some special equipment that they have there. Well, I'll just drive there, doctor. I can be there in a couple hours, get all checked in. He says, you don't understand. You probably don't have a couple hours. What time did you say that chopper was landing? He said, about 15 minutes. So, okay, my wife drives me out to the airport, and I flag down the chopper. I'm in the middle of the runway, and I'm flagging it down, and they get out, where's the sick guy? Where's the sick guy? I'm the sick guy, And so, well, okay, we got to strap you in. And then my wife gets in the helicopter as well, and she gets in the front seat next to the pilot. So I said to the pilot, whatever you do, don't let her drive. But the point is, I'm joking with the pilots all the way there, even though I knew my situation was probably deteriorating rather quickly. So we get to land on the roof of the Palmetto Hospital. They get me in, and 3 surgeons give me a quick exam, and then they sit me down with my wife, and they said, Professor, it looks like from our examination and from the report from the doctor at Aiken that you have necrotizing fasciitis. I said, oh no, necrotizing fasciitis. I can't believe that I would have necrotizing fasciitis. Of all things I could get, a necrotizing fasciitis. They said, yes, do you have any questions? I said, just one. What is necrotizing fasciitis? Well, Professor, that's the dreaded flesh-eating disease. And do you want us to be frank? I said, of course. He said, this could kill you. We have to open you up, and we have to start cutting rotten flesh. We don't know when we're going to stop. We don't know till we open you up. We could be cutting out parts or entire vital organs, kidneys, your heart. We don't know, lungs. But what we can tell you is, if you wake up from this surgery, and we have to be frank, your odds are at best 50-50. Your life will never be the same. Probably in a wheelchair or worse. Okay. Maybe after one of those colostomy bags, where you have to do your business in one of the bags, But we'll tell you right now, the first thing we have to amputate, we'll tell you right now, is your penis. That's the first, but don't worry about that because that's the least of your worries. You can live without that, okay? Your worries are involved with your vital organs when we have to cut and other parts of your body. So, but that for sure is going to be gone, plus whatever else. So would you please sign this paper here, allowing us to amputate your penis and whatever else we need to cut out? Will you sign this paper? I said, sure, I'll sign it. Give it, I'll sign it. I don't care. Cut it off, I don't care. 3 surgeons. Excuse me, what'd you say? You don't care? I said, no, I don't. Cut it off, I don't care. They said, well, why would that be? Well, now I had to come up with a punchline, okay? I said, well, because it did nothing but get me in trouble when I was younger, and then since I've been married, I've only used it but once. True story, you can ask my wife, okay? True story. So the surgeons looked at each other, and then looked at me, and they looked at my wife. And they said, ma'am, is the professor on any kind of drugs we need to know about? And so I said, the drugs? No, why do you ask? And he said, well, ma'am, it's just that most men don't give us that response when we tell them that we have to amputate his penis. And my wife goes, oh, no, don't pay any attention. He's just always a smart ass. So imagine that, I really had been told that I was really staring death right in the face. And here I am cracking jokes. Crazy? You bet. Some people want to go down fighting, not me. I want to go down laughing. Well, the end of the story is when I woke up out of surgery, I was not wearing lipstick and a dress after all. They were wrong. I did not have necrotizing fasciitis. I had a very bad infection. I was in intensive care for 8 days, and then I was in a regular hospital for 4. But I got out of it alive, and pretty much unscathed. So anyway, you see what I'm saying? I could either laugh or I could cry, and I chose to laugh. But that's just me. But anyway, you might think about it. Have yourself a good laugh when you can. The last rule I'll leave you with is what we do 504. And that is fight the good fight. Fight the good fight, folks. And by that I mean do the right thing, the just thing, the kind thing, in any particular situation, in any given moment. Because if you do, when you get old like me, and the days behind you far outnumber the days ahead of you, you'll be able to look back on those days. You'll be able to smile. You'll be able to relive those days. And if you fought the good fight, you'll have a whole treasure chest of great memories. Those great memories will be of infinite comfort to you, especially in your darker hours. So, as I said, fight the good fight. Do what's right. Do what you feel in your heart to be the right thing to do. You won't always be right, of course, but even when you're wrong, you'll be able to look back and say, well, at least my heart was in the right place. And if you fight the good fight, when you get old like me, you know what? You'll be able to sleep pretty well at night. I do. That's all. That's all I have to say. The class is over, okay? As your professor, I taught you everything I can now, because now you know as much as I do. Thank you. God bless, and good luck in this crazy life. You'll probably need it. That's all.